some announcement has been made in the budget for 24-25 definitely. And see, if you see on the banking impact which it will have on the banking side, lot of issues are there with the raising of resources in the bank presently, especially with the deposit growth side. So what we are seeing traditionally is that lot of funds are flowing into the equity market. They are flowing not only to the equity market but also to mutual fund and insurance company and other sectors of investment. So with this capital gains which has come, there may be a possibility that some of the investment, especially which is going into the FNO, may come down, which is where there was a froth which was building up as per the SEBI the guidelines also. So there we see that something a downward trend may happen on the capital market on the FNO side, and if a little bit of investment comes lesser to the capital market, definitely there will be more resources available to the bank for deploying in credit.
Thank you.
Hi, Jinit here from Money Control. So I've got two questions. First is I just want to get some understanding on your personal loan business. So you have seen sequential as well as year-on-year good growth there. So wanted to get some understanding on the outlook as such, because we are seeing some concerns on the regulator as well on this particular business. So what is BOI's take going ahead for personal loans?
Okay. So if you see our personal loan book, our book is not a very large book. It is at around only 10,000 crore of rupees. And this is as of June 24. In June 23, that book was at around 7,000 crore. So it's a YoY increase of around 40%. In the amount wise, it is at around 3,000 crore increase. However, let me clarify that on the personal loan book side, our book is secured in the sense that it is all secured by the cash flows from the borrowers. That is number one. Quite a few guardrails we have put on the personal loan book side, wherein one of them is that the CIC score should not be less than 700. The second thing is that they are salaried class. Majority of our personal loan borrowers are salaried class. Number three, we have another put a guardrail with the fact that the salary should be coming in the Bank of India saving account. That is another guardrail we have put. And some of our book within the personal loan book is also to our product of the housing loan, wherein to the housing loan borrowers we are giving personal loan. So there the mortgage is already with us on a long-term mortgage of 10 year, 15 year or a 20 year. There we are giving a top-up as a personal loan. So our personal loan book is quite secured. And if you see the delinquency on the personal loan book side, it is around 60 to 70 crore only as on date, as on 30th June on the delinquency side, as against a book of around 10,000 crores. This also includes the credit card outstanding, which is only at around 500 crores, 550 odd crores, within which whatever the NPA is, 100% it is provided. And SFA numbers is also well in control. So there is no concern as far as Bank of India is concerned on the personal loan book side.
My second question is on your deposit growth. So you have given an outlook of growing it by 11-12%, but what we have seen in the last few quarters is what you're getting is a single-digit growth, 9.5 as such. So I wanted to get some understanding that are you going to look at raising rates anytime soon, and what's going to be the focus, because I've seen you've got good CASA growth compared to your peers as such in private and the public space. But we wanted to get some understanding on, are you looking at raising rates or which deposits are going to be your focus going ahead?
Yeah. So if you see the Bank of India franchise, and if you see our presentation also, the biggest strength for Bank of India is our franchise and the kind of domestic pattern of deposit that we are having. So if you see the slide also, our CASA number is at around 43%, and we have maintained that range at around 42 to 43%, and that is one of the best CASA numbers among the peer banks. Another thing which is there on the slide is that we have depicted also that our bulk deposit is only around 13 to 14% of our total domestic deposit. So which means that 86% of our domestic deposit is either CASA or retail term deposit. So retail term deposit in the sense that as per the new RBI definition of up to 3 crores. So that is the strength for us, that helps us in reducing the cost of deposit. As regards our present deposit franchise and the term deposit is concerned, we already have a product which is for 666 days for the retail depositor, where we are offering a rate of interest of 7.3%, and there we are garnering good rate. And let me clarify here that if we see the 7.3% of rate on 666 days deposit, it is much cheaper than the rate at which we are able to garner the bulk deposits. These 50 crore and 100 crore deposits for 1 year, where the rates are much higher. So this is a cheap the rate at which we are able to garner such deposits. Another important thing over here is that as regards competing pace with the credit growth is concerned, if you see our numbers further, our domestic credit growth has grown by around 17% on a YoY basis, and domestic deposit has grown around 10 to 11%. This 9 point something percentage growth on deposit is a global deposit growth. Domestic deposit growth has been around 10%, 10 to 11%. So this gap of 5 to 6%, we have formulated a strategy wherein we have raised CDs from the market, number one. Number two, we have also done some borrowings on the excess SLR which is available to us, which is still is cheaper than raising bulk deposits. And number three strategy has been raising some borrowings from CMD or NABARD, which is again coming at a cheaper rate. So if you see the gap at which the credit has grown YoY basis and the rate at which the deposit has grown, there is a gap of around 15,000 crores from the slide if you see. So that 15,000 crore we have garnered through this strategy, which is raising from the excess SLR, from borrowing from CMD NABARD or from the CD. Going forward, what we have done in this month also, in the month of July also, we have raised 5,000 crore on the infra bonds. So that is another strategy which we have adopted. We have taken a board approval of 10,000 crore in this financial year of raising infra bonds, out of which 5,000 we have already raised. Another 5,000 we will be trying to raise in the month of September again. That will again help us in raising the resources to fill the growth of credit, which is outpacing the growth of deposit. So these are the strategies. Apart from that, what we have done recently in the month of July, our resources department has done is that we have 13 FGM offices and 69 zonal offices. So 82 offices we have now posted exclusive resource officers whose only job is to garner deposits and do tie-ups. Tie-ups with whom? Tie-ups with corporates, number one. Tie-ups with schools, tie-ups with education institutes, tie-ups with hospitals, tie-ups with central and state government, and also tie-ups with central and state PSUs. So through that we will be garnering lot of CASA deposits, saving and current accounts, and also finally the RAM advances, like typically the retail advances like housing loan, education loan, personal loans. So that kind of strategy we have adopted, and we are very sure that in the coming 2-3 quarters good resources will be able to raise, and we will be able to garner whatever resources are required for the kind of credit growth that we are seeing in the bank.
Thank you so much. I'll come back.
Hi sir, this is Shri from Business Standard. The question is on when the budget, Finance Minister announced that state-owned banks should devise a mechanism in-house for credit worthiness of MSMEs. So where are we on that? And also, are you comfortable in lending to MSMEs in the special mention category?
Yeah. So as far as lending to MSME is concerned, we have quite a good guardrails which we have already put in the MSME lending. So we have SME CC centers, more than 100 SME CC centers in the country. So the entire credit underwriting in the MSME space is happening through these MSME CC centers. So basically the model is that the branches source the proposal, do the marketing part, and they send it to the SME CC center, who do the entire credit underwriting, due diligence, everything. And then when they sanction the proposal, it goes to the branch, and from where the disbursal and other things take place. So what we have seen over the last 2-3 years since these SME CC centers have been formed, our credit underwriting has improved, and also the delinquency has come down. So that is a clear thing which is there available with the data. So lot of guardrails have already placed in various categories of MSME borrowers, and schemes also have been floated for MSME, like for the ODOP, like one district, one product. Under that also MSME lending we are doing. So we are very comfortable with the present MSME portfolio which is there, and the growth is also 13% on a YoY basis. And if you see the SMA numbers on our slide above 5 crore MSME, there also our credit quality is quite good. So we see no challenge as far as lending to the MSME is concerned, and we are quite robust and are having a good target for the MSME lending. As regards the SMA lending concern is there, so we are guided by the RBI policies on the SMA lending to any borrower, not only MSME I would say. So because we are a regulated entity, we will be going as per the RBI guidelines on lending as far as to that category is concerned.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. We have one Mr. Amol Dekhe, who has virtually joined us from Economic Times. Kindly unmute yourself, Mr. Amol, and you are free to ask your question. Can we have Amol, please? Yes, Amol.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Just wanted to check with you, sir. I think you gave a detailed response to the deposit question. But the reason you're allocating perhaps all your resources to garner the deposits from SLR from different institutions and putting a lot of efforts in terms of hospitals and schools to raise the deposits. Any particular reason? Is that, I mean, why? Because most of the bankers are slightly also worried that the deposits are shifting to mutual funds and other investments. Is that also one of the reasons that the bankers like you are also going very harsh in terms of raising more deposits from the customer sides?
Yeah, thank you, Amol. So as you know that the credit growth is outpacing the deposit growth. That is quite visible from the RBI data also. And if you see our bank's balance sheet also, it is the same situation. So we have grown our YoY credit at 17% and deposit has grown in the domestic side at around 10 to 11% and the gap is around 6%. So we have to re-strategize ourselves to raise more resources. So so far as that thing is concerned, so we have put on a strategy that we will have more tie-ups with lot of more corporates, education institutes, hospitals and others and central and state government PSUs and all those kinds of things so that we are able to get good kind of tractions on the resources and CASA side is concerned. So that is the reason we have adopted that strategy and with that reason only we have now deputed 82 specialized officers who will be doing that kind of work only on raising of the deposit because deposit is definitely a challenge at present and we need to increase our deposit growth rate so as to keep pace with the kind of credit growth which is coming in the system.
Yeah, I will add to what MD sir has said. If you look at the data, this actually the whole strategy that MD and CEO has outlined is in the context of the data that is reflected in the deposit side, especially household savings side. If you look at the household savings, it is around 39% of total savings. Now what has happened is, there is something silver lining that has happened. The new tax regime has actually taken out whatever incentives, tax incentives that are there for small savings and other types of savings that are available. So naturally, we feel that the residual savings that are there that is not going to for the mutual funds is going to actually revert to banks where rates are more attractive than anything else. So we will be getting good traction once we have that kind of strategy. That is one way we augment liabilities, considering that there is an environment to augment savings.
Thank you, sir. Can we have some questions from ladies? They are in good numbers. Yeah, you can take the mic, ma'am. It's kept there.
Good evening, this is Sonia from Brand Turks. Sir, can you throw some light on the green bonds and the ESG initiatives?
Mic is off. Can somebody help?
Yeah, on green bonds and the ESG, right?
Yeah.
So green deposit policy we have already formulated. So we will be very shortly launching the same once it is finally approved by the board. So that will be coming in this quarter or the ensuing quarter. That will be coming as regards the green deposit is concerned. And on the ESG framework, we have a very detailed ESG framework which we have outlined in our presentation also. We are doing very good work as far as the environmental, social and governance side is concerned. So a lot of sustainability things we are doing on the social side also, where the impact is happening to the people in general in the society when we are giving retail loans, number one, whether it's a personal loan or a housing loan, lot of life-changing experiences are happening on the social side. Similarly, when we are giving agriculture loans, again there are a lot of life-changing journeys and things which are happening and which we are catching them also through bites and putting on our website channel. Similarly, on the MSME side, when we are lending to the MSMEs, like even to the Mudra loans, lot of self-employment we are creating over there. So there also a lot of life-changing journeys are happening through the lending which is happening from us. So all these things, apart from that, the PMJJBY and PMSBY, that accounts that we are opening on the insurance side, in the saving side, there have been many cases throughout in the bank where unfortunately the person has expired, depositor has expired and the family has got the insurance claim, whichever as per the government scheme. There also life-changing experience for the family has happened. So all these ESG initiatives bank is taking on a very proactively, and we are very much serious and concerned about that, and we have also elucidated that in our presentation slide which is there in the presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can somebody pass the mic?
For the money control. Two questions I have here. When I look at your gross NPA at 4.62, it's slightly higher compared to what most of the banks of your size is. So have you identified any ARC process or something like that to reduce the headline number? And also on the yield part of it, yield on assets. This quarter in particular, a lot of the PSU banks have seen a little bit of easing on yield, whereas you've been able to keep up your pricing. So what is contributing to your pricing here?
Yeah. So on your first question regarding the gross NPA, if you see our gross NPA journey for Bank of India, so we were at a gross NPA of 6.67 as on March 23 audited numbers, which came down to 4.98 in March 24, right? So we came first time below 5%. Now what we have done is that we are now at 4.62. Your point is correct that we are still on a higher side compared to other banks, but definitely that journey has already begun, and we have already given a guidance of that we will be at around 4% by March 25 on the gross NPA number. So it will be coming down on a quarter-on-quarter basis, and we will be settling at around 4% by March 25.
No ARC plans or anything, no sale of assets or...
No, it's a combined strategy which is there in that. So there are 4 or 5 OTS schemes which we have floated for the field. There is a scheme with respect to the recovery in return of accounts, number 1. There is a scheme which is for recovery for accounts up to 25 lakhs. There is another scheme wherein recovery for up to accounts up to 50 crores is there. Then we are doing OTS. Then there is NCLT resolutions also happening. We are aggressively filing in the NCLT. And then we are also monitoring the SURFACE notice that we are sending, an auction through SURFACE, and also the ARC sale which is there. So on case-to-case basis, we are showcasing our assets also to the ARCs who are coming, and then going for a Swiss challenge after that. So it is a 4, 5, 6 pronged strategy which we have adopted in order to bring down not only the gross NPA but even the net NPA. Even if you see, I'll elaborate that point further, that if you see our net NPA number for the first time, it has gone below that threshold level of 1%. We have now touched that 0.99%. So journey has already begun, and by March 25 you will see the numbers both on gross and net NPA side even better.
On the yield part, sir?
Yeah, as far as the yields are concerned, on the yield on advances you had asked, see, you are right that our yield on advances have improved. This time it is at around 8.60%, which is compared to other peer banks, it is much better. Again, there was a strategy. As a strategy, what we have done, 55% of our advances are RAM advances, where it is linked to mostly the external benchmarks like repo rates, where concessions are less, where typically the rate of interest is around 9%. So there the yields are better. As far as the corporate book is concerned, there also we have maintained our number at around 45% of the overall book. There also, as a strategy, what we have done is that up to 180 days only we are giving on the repo rate side. All other lending which is happening on the corporate book side is on the MCLR. So if you see the MCLR side, we have raised the MCLR in the last 15 months by around 6 to 7 times, from April 2023 to say June, July. In fact, on this 1st August itself, again we have raised the MCLR by 5 basis points on the 1 year MCLR. So in the MCLR bracket, if you see, our lowest MCLR is the overnight MCLR at 8.15%, and 1 year MCLR has now touched 8.95%. So, and we are the first one to announce the increase in the MCLR rate. So we are very cognizant on the MCLR side also that we should be pricing our asset side in an optimum way, the way the prices in the deposit sides are increasing. And MCLR is the right way to price a asset because it is as per the formula driven by the Reserve Bank of India, and it takes into account the incremental rise in the cost of deposits. So this is our clear strategy. We will go through the MCLR route only.
One more question I have, sir, if you don't have. Any plan to rationalize your subsidiaries or monetize from your subsidiaries? You also have a insurance unit, you're invested about 30% there. Would you look at listing it? Most of the other PSU banks are also drawing similar plans on that front.
Not immediately, not at this juncture we are planning to monetize any subsidiary, but as and when we do that, definitely we will inform to the press.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Some intelligent questions coming up. Yeah. Can we have from there? Nobody has asked.
She's asking questions.
She's asking, Sangeeta is asking.
Sir, sir, I want to ask you on LCLR, is there any assessment done by the bank as in what is the impact of LCLR on the mills and
LCR.
LCR?
Yeah. Thank
Any
you.
assessment, what would be the impact on NIMS?
Yeah, so as far as this RBI latest guideline is concerned, the draft circular is concerned, as you are all aware, that they have asked for certain feedbacks, right? So we'll be giving the feedback to RBI also and also to RBI.